Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Well, it's about our favorite guy. One of our favorite guys.
Chris Evans?
No.
Oh, dear.
Bob Chapek. So it's from Blake, though. Hey, John, did you see that The Hollywood Reporter is reporting the news that Disney CEO Bob Chapek has unceremoniously fired Peter Rice, the chairman of programming for Disney? Well, this seems insignificant. What is interesting is that apparently Rice was next in line to succeed Bob Chapek as CEO. So it seems Bob Chapek axed him before he would ever get the chance. This is some real Game of Thrones level stuff here. What are your thoughts? And do you think this is another misstep for Chapek in his tenure as Disney CEO?
All right. Thanks a lot for saying that in, Blake. And yeah, this is a story. Now, this actually came out on, I think this news dropped on Thursday. But this is a story that has continued to get more and more interesting. Now, look, I'll put it right out on the table. Everybody knows I am a big Disney fan. I love, not everything Disney does, obviously, but I'm a big Disney fan. I love a lot of the stuff that they do. I was also one of the people who was very pro when they announced that Bob Chapek was going to be the new CEO. I have changed my tune since, and I still cheer for him. I hope he does a great job, but I have not been particularly, let's say, impressed with the job that he has done as CEO of this company so far. Here's hoping to turn things around, whatever. We get news that Peter Rice, who had done a tremendous job since coming over from Fox in the acquisition deal. As a matter of fact, they just re-upped his contract in August. Yep. They re-upped his contract in August because as good as those divisions were doing under, previous administrations, he had been taking them to success after success after success. It's been glowing so much so that when the fire was starting to burn around Bob Chapek's feet a little bit, there were whispers going around in the industry and within the halls of Disney itself that Peter Rice could be the next guy up to maybe replace Bob Chapek if they decided to make a change at the top spot with CEO. Well, out of nowhere, and I don't know, I can't remember how JR used to say it, out of nowhere comes Bob Chapek and basically shivs Peter Rice in the back in the hallway somewhere at Disney.
Red-weddinged him.
He red-weddinged him. He totally red-weddinged him. And out of nowhere, total shock to everybody, fired him and promoted his main lieutenant, Dana Walden, who also came, by the way, Dana Walden, brilliant entertainment executive in her own right.
And they worked together at Fox for like 25 years.
She refers to him as a mentor and all that kind of stuff, promoting her to his spot, to which the industry has said, wait, what? The whole industry, the entire industry has been like, wait, you fired Peter Rice. Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at IndieWire who wrote the following. The suddenly former chairman wasn't a good fit, according to one person with knowledge of the decision who spoke to IndieWire on the condition of anonymity. So obviously this is Disney PR. The source told us that Rice was a bit of a bully and was not very well liked within Disney. But that is not a universal opinion. Within the industry, many people find Rice to be charming, intelligent, and smooth. Chapek didn't always have everybody's confidence. Among the interesting talking points surrounding Rice's ouster is the fact that just months ago, certain Hollywood circles were abuzz with the opinion that Rice may replace Chapek. Our source with knowledge of the shakeup acknowledged that such chatter of Rice replacing Chapek did not go unheard within Disney's highest ranks, and they said it didn't not play a role in his firing. And that comes to us from the good folks over at IndieWire. All right. There's a whole lot here to unpack. On the one hand, is this frickin' dirty? Yeah. This is, if true, and we got to preface this, if I'm not there, I'm not walking around Disney's hallways right now. I don't know what's actually going on. I wasn't in the room where it happened, of course, as
Sure.
said by Hamilton. I wasn't there. So I don't know. Let's use that very big term, if. If that's accurate, this is one of the littlest, smallest, most petty things that you can do as a CEO. I mean, you've got an executive that is piloting their division to great success. It's win after win after win, and they're doing great. But because you're insecure, you're like, this guy's a threat to me. I'm going to fire him. And he up and fired. That means you're putting your own insecurities ahead of the well-being of the company that you're supposed to be the CEO of. Also, pretty shrewd. I mean, they said it when they wrote, the person who wrote in the message, this is some Game of Thrones shit. You ain't wrong. It is. It ain't show friends. It's show business, as Robert Meyer Burnett would say.
Bob Sugar.
So,
Bob Sugar, Jerry Maguire.
So if you're looking at this from thing, look, do I think it's dirty? Yep. Do I think it's sniveling and a little insecure? Yep. Do I kind of got to tip my hat a little bit? Maybe. Because if he's trying to secure his position and you're like, because that was the big question going around, right? When the whispers are going around that Disney may look to oust Bob Chapek, one of the big questions was, but who do you replace him with? Who's there? Oh, you think you got an option? Let's move that option off the table. Now what are you going to do? So, I mean, again, let's re-emphasize this. We don't know that this is true, right? For all we know, Peter Rice took Mrs. Chapek out for a nice dinner and never called her again. I mean, I don't know. There might be something else there, something that we don't know. It's just that, you got Disney PR saying, oh, he was a bully and not well liked. Meanwhile, everybody else in the industry is going, what? Everybody loved Peter Rice. He was trying to be successful. And of course, then Dana Walden, she just gave her first kind of address to the staff at Disney. And she spent part of her address saying what a great mentor Peter was to her and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff too, which of course is the right thing to say. But I don't know. It's the next chapter in the ever evolving drama at Bob Chapek's Disney. I know. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by Ninja so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea. Rob, you saw this story. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I had heard it reported that it was that Bob Chapek said to Peter Rice, "There's really not a place here for you in the new Disney." And Peter Rice's response was something to the effect of, "Well, aren't we supposed to be forging, what the new Disney is?" Look, I never think I understand corporate shenanigans, but I never think it's a good thing to make decisions or act from a position of insecurity and weakness. Because the thing is, a guy like Peter Rice, see, here's the thing. Bob Chapek is a corporate animal. He's been a corporate animal. He's worked his way up through Disney, theme parks, home video. Because when I worked at Disney extensively in the mid-aughts. And Bob Chapek was a very well-liked guy as far as home video circles were concerned over at Disney. But guys like Peter Rice and Bob Iger, they deal with talent. They're dealing with the relationships they have with people. And I don't know if Bob Chapek is so... He has relationships with people within the corporate structure of things,
right?
Like dealing with department heads and all that. But when you're making stuff, when you're in charge of making movies and television, you have relationships with outside creators and outside producers, and you have to understand how creative people work and their own insecurities and their own craziness. A lot of time, those relationships don't fit within the corporate structure. And a guy like Peter Rice has experience Bob Chapek will never have. He has a skill set that Bob Chapek does not possess. Getting rid of Peter Rice, while probably ruthless, like you said, you could admire that because you understand why he did it. I don't necessarily think it helps Disney in the long run because, as you rightfully pointed out, he's doing a great job, and that's their job. Peter Rice's job was to make content, to oversee content creation, work with creatives, make this stuff happen. And that's probably the thing he likes doing. No, I don't know. People say Peter Rice wanted to succeed or was going to be the successor, but did Peter Rice want that? I don't necessarily think that he would. And so all I can think about is now that this has happened, I think that Bob Chapek in a way has diminished his position, because rather than have an ally like Peter Rice and have somebody working like that underneath him, he promoted Peter Rice's second in command. Well, who's her loyalty going to be to?
I'll tell you who's going to be to. It's going to be to Bob Chapek now.
Well, now it is.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But now it is until like Zaslav calls up Peter Rice and goes, "Hey, buddy."
Because to go back to Game of Thrones again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
he basically stepped and said, "Bend the knee." And I think that's what he's calling on everybody at Disney to do now, is bend the knee.
Yeah, bend the knee. But that means your position is never totally secure, because if Peter Rice can get summarily dismissed,
Yeah.
anybody can get summarily dismissed. And again, I don't presume to know the inner machinations of what's going on. It just seemed like this was abrupt. The industry was taken aback by it. It wasn't necessarily.
And Peter Rice was shocked by it too. He didn't see
Peter
it coming.
was completely shocked by it. And you wonder, is that what you want to be doing?
Well, here's the thing. To quote Highlander, to quote Homelander, Bob Chapek's new philosophy in life seems to be, hey, I'd like to be loved. But if I can't be loved, I'm okay with being feared.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the new way of
Yeah.
things. I don't know. Chris, you hear about this. What stands out to you?
I mean, the biggest thing is that right now it is so much. So-and-so maybe said this, so-and-so maybe said this.
Yeah,
Everything
there's
that's
a lot of
reporting
that.
this is a Disney insider. So we're hearing things through, Fortune, through the Hollywood Reporter saying, well, a lot of people are saying that Rice was a little too relaxed, a little too loose. He was very Fox, and Disney, that just doesn't jive with how we do things. Whereas other people are saying, no, we really like Rice. We really enjoy how he works with us. This is great to bring balance. And I love that you brought up Peter Rice's relationship with artists, because we do have those people coming forward. We have Danny Boyle, director Danny Boyle, coming forward saying, this is one of the best executives I've ever worked with. Disney will now be weaker and more corporate without him. But then on the flip side of that, you have Susan Arnold, one of the chairwomen over at Disney, who really doesn't make statements often, saying that the board is supporting Chapek fully and that they're behind him 100% of the way. But if that's true, then why are they waiting to renew his contract still, right? Because theoretically, that's up in what, February?
Yes.
So I feel like if you support somebody, maybe you go ahead and renew that contract. Waiting it out feels like maybe you don't fully back this
Because you know
horse.
whose contract they did renew? Peter Rice's.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, by the way, Peter Rice is sitting at home going, dude, I'm going to go home. I'm going to watch the new Beavis and Butthead, and I'm going to collect a $60 million check from
Yep.
Disney for not going to work for the next couple of years, because they had to pay him out for that contract.
Oh, yeah. And that's another thing. Why would you do that? Like ultimately, I mean, I can understand why you do it, but like you pointed out, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of Game of Thrones being played over there.
Yeah.
Everybody's jockeying for position, and it's like, well, I get it.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this inner drama going on around the Iron Throne over there at Disney? Were you surprised by it? Were you not? Listen, this could be much ado about nothing. It could very well be that maybe Peter Rice stepped on somebody's foot. I mean, I don't know, or maybe it is what the political intrigue of it all. He's a wannabe to my throne. Let's get rid of him. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.